Dan, what's going on?
Okay, Scott, how's my audio?
Sounds good.
Okay, fantastic. Everyone, thank you so much for your time. And as you guys all know, we've decided to start doing our Q&A every other week. And the reason is this allows, number one, the executives to do more executive quote unquote stuff, but also it gives us an ability to kind of prime you with better things because it takes a little bit longer than a week for new stuff to come up. So just FYI, that's why the new schedule is the way it is. But welcome to Trade Ideas. We're so excited that you have joined us. You guys are our.
Turn that screen out one more time. No one can see it. I just
Okay, how about that?
There we go.
Okay, thank you very much. As I said before, we are grateful for your time, and I'm not going to try to keep you here the whole hour today, but you are, in essence, our venture capitalists. Trade Ideas is a company that has never raised money, and we're going to show you some of the things that we've achieved because of your belief and faith in what it is that we do. So let's begin, but first, always, the disclaimer. Please be aware that no information that I'm going to give you should be considered as investment advice. This is just FYI information for educational and informational purposes only. Nothing that comes from anyone at Trade Ideas or the AI for that matter should be construed as formal investment advice or trade recommendations. These are just hypothetical things for you to make inferences from, to learn and hopefully improve your own trading performance. Now, with that out of the way, let's jump into why it is that you subscribe to Trade Ideas. So I've said this before, I'm a big fan of golf. I've been struggling with the game, majority of my life. I'm 50 years old now and still struggle with it today. One of the best lines I ever heard in golf is when somebody asked Bubba Watson, who's won the Masters tournament, very good golfer, Bubba, how come you don't have a golf coach? And he said, golf coach? Those guys can't play tournaments and win. Always stuck with me, love that. And so I wanted to share with you guys my own performance in the market. So I invest my own 401k, and I'm not recommending that you do that, as again, I do not give you any investment advice, but what I'm saying is that more and more people are starting to realize that the bullshit that you are given in the financial markets with mutual funds is literally bullshit. And you can do so much better on your own if you spend the time and if you understand risk management. So this is me, your CEO of Trade Ideas, and I'm the visionary of the firm, and there's lots of people in our company that do this. Not everybody, because again, this is an individual endeavor. You have to decide if you want to do this yourself. But this is my current rate of return as of August 31st. So obviously it's always a day behind. And this is how much I've made in the market this year. The reason I'm showing this is because a lot of times you're bombarded with the Ferrari driving gurus, the leased houses, the fishing trips, and we don't do any of that. I've got a family and 3 children, beautiful wife. I'm a normal guy just like you, but I run a business. I'm the visionary at Trade Ideas, have lots of amazing people that work here that facilitate all the technology that we bring to you. Obviously, Barry's one of them, Scott's one of them, but I'm one that, again, I do what we talk about. The reason that I have the visions I have for the market, and the reason that I am one of the drivers still at the CEO level of the technology, and I don't delegate that to any kind of focus groups or any BS like that, is because I do it. And I'm showing you that this is what I do. So, but to further along, to showcase that also I'm not necessarily a day trader, although I invest actively, but my active investment is done as a form of risk management. So when I see a position not doing something for a certain period of time, I make adjustments. So let me show you what I'm in. Again, this is no secret. So if you want to know how did I make this money, let me sum it up for you with this slide. I've done this before. I've showcased my positions. And again, I haven't kept all of them. You can see the losers, you can see the winners, but I want to just make sure you understand what it is that I do, how I do it. And obviously, this is the share size Okay, this is my cost basis. This is how much it cost, and this is the current cost of it. And I think this is the gains, I think. Yeah. So these are the positions that I'm in. And again, I've traded in and out of some of these. I've made some crazy mistakes in some of these, like AUVI. I was in at like $1 and it went to 30 and I missed it. I mean, not perfect, but I want to show you that this is actually possible. And this is 401k trading, okay? Meaning that I am managing my retirement account in my 401k by myself. Many of you have this option. You can do it if you ask. And I'm simply showcasing and sharing the fact that we don't just make the tech, but sort of like the hair club for men, we're the customers. We actually use our own technology. We derive value from it. We make inferences from it, and we lead by example. Okay. So are there any questions about what you're seeing here? Again, we're today, Brad, my good buddy, who's usually on the Q&A with me, is caddying for his son, who's trying out to be a professional golfer at Q School. How awesome is that? Everybody should be rooting for Brad's son, Jake Williams. He's going through Q School. And yeah, Naveen, thank you very much. I'm blessed because I am able to show it as a professional, and by being professional, I mean I'm not a professional investor. I'm just like you guys, but I want to be able to showcase that it's possible to do something that you probably aren't told you can do. You know, the investment management world spends a lot of time trying to pretend that this stuff is complicated and too brainy for you average Joes to figure out, but I'm as average as all of you guys, but I may manage to do something pretty amazing here, I think. And I'm hoping to inspire you and hoping to get you to see that this is the difference between ourselves and our vendor competitors, is that we're not in just the vending business, we're in the actual business. We're here to do better for ourselves with our own tech and to help our subscribers do better with us. You can do just as well as I've done, you can do better. And obviously, again, that all has to do with you. So let me show you something real quick. Is everyone able to see my screen? Scott, this tab visible?
Yeah, that's
okay.
fine.
Okay, great. So I wanted to show you something that we're really proud of. This is our 5th year, 5 years in a row, on the Inc. 5000 list of the fastest growing privately held companies. And remember, I said that this is largely due to your faith in us. You are our venture capitalist. We have not raised any money ever. Okay, so we've done this all from the ground up ourselves without the help of the big corporate VC or private equity wallet. And there are very, very few companies that are able to do what we've done in terms of being on this list 5 years in a row. We've done some research, and I think it's like out of all the companies in the Inc. 5000, it's maybe like 9%. So we're in the top 10% of all companies ever on that Inc. 5000 list. And the thing I want you to keep in mind is that to do this, Trade Ideas is competing with ourselves. So we've got to beat our own numbers, which are always pretty good. And we keep doing that. And of course, also the top 50 trustworthy companies as well. So I wanted you guys to kind of see what it is that we're about and some of the achievements that we've been able to accomplish thanks to your help. Okay. So now I'm going to minimize my PowerPoint and I'll jump back to it. I want to talk about today a couple of basic things, but very, very critically important. And some of these, I'm hoping they just blow your mind, okay? So as you guys know, we have the AI, okay? And this AI is the only trading AI that gives signals during the day in the entire financial marketplace. So we have a system that says, hey, here's a signal, do it. And people can track it. We show you what it's doing. It doesn't win all the time, but it does amazing. And what I'm going to show you today is a feature that we're going to really focus on towards the last quarter of the year And I've said this part of the presentation before, we're going to kind of productize it more, but I'm going to show it to you in just one moment. The first other thing I want to show you is that we've done some cosmetic changes to the charting. Notice here, I can right click and I can go to properties. Wait, sorry. Select background color, and I can make a gradient now. So I can take this color, I can go over here, I can go to color wheel, I can go to slider, I can adjust it to, let's say, something like this. Okay, I can hit apply. Notice it changes a little bit. Then I can go back and go to select background color and change it to something like this. Once again, go to the selector, maybe come over here and something just like this, and just create more of a breadth to the visuals. So this is available now, I believe, in our latest beta for anybody. And we're doing some stuff with the watermarks and things like that. But once again, you can just go to right click and select background color, and you can choose anything and everything that you want. You can apply it, and it'll make some visual modifications to the software that I think are kind of cool. Creates depth. We know that I think this exists in eSignal and TC2000, but we're catching up to them. We're going to surpass them big time. Okay, so let me go back and sort of change it to what it was before. And once again, background color, I'll just make it this guy, and make this a little bit darker, just so everyone can see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so today we're going to talk about an unused feature that you all have access to, but this, if you really started to use this, you would do what I am able to do with my 401k. And I want to show you how to do it, okay? Some of you who have been here before, have seen this before, but I'm going to go over this, and this is the crux of the whole presentation today, because if you're not using this, you're literally missing, I would say, 70% of the AI value. And I'm telling you that out of the people that use this software, and again, almost all of our users are premium users, but very few have actually figured out and done what I'm about to tell you. This is the breadwinner. Are you all ready? Hopefully I've built the suspense. Here we go. So these are today's trades, okay? Not every day in the AI is profitable, and one of the reasons is because, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you figured this out yet, but one day is kind of a tricky time frame to time. 1 day winners. Here's a nice BSY trade. And by the way, if you look at your chat, okay, if you look at the chat logs, I dropped in a summary video of the BSY trade so you can kind of see it being highlighted, and we're going to be creating more of these videos for you. But let me do a little bit of something that, again, hopefully you will remember. First of all, recall that we have condensed the AI to one channel. That's a very important thing. We were, you guys developed sort of with us, so there's this progress that you see. We had one AI initially, but then we did some statistical modifications and created 3, then we created a summary for it, but we've condensed it all back to one main AI so you're not distracted, okay? I'm gonna right click right now, and I'm gonna go to history, and I'm gonna go to yesterday. Okay, yesterday was an insane day for the AI, but here I am now. Again, are you ready? I hope you have your seatbelt on. So yesterday was a great day for the AI, but let's get ready to rumble for why this is not a day trading product and why this is the thing that can help build your 401k. Okay, let's do it. So this trade happened yesterday, 1183. And here it is today at 1272. Still very positive trade for your position if you were able to hold on and hold it yesterday. And remember, my 401k, I do not buy and sell the next day. The whole notion of day trading or a day trade, meaning you get in and you get out the same day, is a little bit of a psyops on you so that you are not able to ride your winners. I'm sorry to tell you that, but that is why they did this to you, okay? So here's an example of DAO, and it looks like it's continuing to go. So I would definitely heart this. Remember, we talked about this, and now it's in your watch list without you doing anything in this window right here, okay? But let's go right here. SPOK. So this was a trade yesterday right here at 9:41. Look at this beautiful continuation move today, 2.62%. Do you see what I'm showing you? That there's so much more to this AI than just the day trade. You should always be looking at the historical feed, because the historical feed holds so much more value even than the feed of today, because it's giving you things that have already passed the signal and are statistically continuing. So you want to be going for the historical winners. Look at this one from yesterday. So remember, we were looking at yesterday, which by the way killed it, but what I'm trying to tell you is that yesterday killed it, but yesterday also killed it today. Do you see what I'm saying and how important it is to distinguish this and understand what I'm trying to communicate? Look at the percentages that you leave on the table if you are not staying in your winner. And again, the whole notion of panic selling, which is something that the industry tries to put in you, and the whole invention of the word day trade is to psychologically induce you to think that there's something smart about exiting today. And I'm not saying that you necessarily should hold positions all the time. I'm just simply saying that if you get in today and exit today, well, certainly if it runs, you're not going to be in it. Because it's very difficult for a person to get in, get out, but then get in again and then stay in, because you either have to do one or the other. Okay, Daniel, I'm going to show this one more time because Daniel had the question. So in the AI window right here, look, I'm on the AI channel, so everyone can go here. I'm going to re-click the channel just so it reloads. Back to the old colors, by the way, which is fine. Okay, you can zoom in. So this is today's trading, 9/1. I right click, okay, and I go to history, and I go yesterday. Boom, yesterday appears. Daniel, do you see that? Hopefully everyone who's using the tech can replicate this on their own. Okay, very good. So now I'm just going through these trades, so how these trades did yesterday. I'm trying to showcase the fact that not all of them, by the way, work. But let me show you something else. And this is the 1-2, the sweet science part of AI trading, okay, using Trade Ideas Tech. So AI's API was signaled yesterday right here. It was, okay trade. But right now, the stock is 72 cents lower or something to that effect. Okay, let's see, where was the signal? So the signal was at 33.38. We're at 33.20. I mean, in reality, it's right there. And by the way, it went up quite a bit higher today. So it was a pretty good win. But let's just go right here at 33.50, right click and say create an alert, and back in above AI signal. Hit save, and instantly your new alert appears. Now remember, you have a stop that's right here that you can always maintain. You can, obviously make it smaller if you want to, but do you see what I did there? It's a simple 1-2. So now, for me, when API crosses this threshold, and I can actually, can take this, drag it a little bit here, just this way, maybe it has more momentum. Let's drag it above that candle high close right here, 34. That means this trend is in play. Okay, so Mark, don't worry, the AI has its own. It's a good question you asked, but you should not worry about that. Why do you care what parameters the AI is using? Because it's AI, it's recalculating its parameters based on statistical analysis. and very high level math that neither you nor I nor most people can ever comprehend. And I'm not saying that flippantly, I'm just saying that worrying about the AI parameters, you know, that's like in the middle of your golf swing trying to figure out how many ridges you've got on your club. In the middle of the swing, you got to focus on just making the swing. So what I'm saying is this trade happened in the AI yesterday. It's a system called Nice Chart, and we're just statistically, you know, trying to be cute, but also accurate about what's going on. And that signal was at this price yesterday. Today, it closed a little bit lower, but I've made an alert when this trend continues. So I'm not going to miss this trade again. Does everybody get it? It's that simple. And also added to my symbols that I like. But let's keep going. Okay, so this was API. How about PII? Okay, there's another one. So, because again, I want to show you an example of both the losing and the winning becoming winners. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how losing trades. So let's say yesterday you got into this stock. By the way, yesterday it was up a little bit. You know, and again, today you are, if you're still holding, you're down a little bit. If you're not in it, I'm going to show you the entry. So right click right here and say 119.55. And we're going to do the same thing. Back above AI entry signal. Save. Boom. So you're never going to lose this signal. And by the way, these are some of the most amazing signals because what you're trying to do here, okay, see this reversion to the mean long? What this means is that the AI is thinking that this thing has gone down too far, like from here, especially from 147. These are some of the sweetest pick plays that you can get, but they're so hard to catch perfectly. That's what I'm trying to say. And understand that this is the art. Okay, this is the sweet science. Let it come back through the signal, buy it again, and you could see this at 130 easy. Okay, because that's what the model is trying to do. And what I'm trying to do is show you how you follow the model longer term. Once again, 1-2 punch, added to my stocks I like, and created a signal just above the entry. Okay, let's go next. APPS. Couldn't get better. So if you were in yesterday and you held, you're riding another beautiful 2% winner. Do you see how nice that is and what we're talking about in terms of the longer term play? In, still going, and no reason why it couldn't go back to these levels. We're talking about 80. We're talking about significant percentage gainers. Okay, significant percentage gainers. This is how you get them. You use the AI signals for longer than one day. Let's go to this one. Okay, same thing. Entry right here. You're just repeating the process. You hard it, so you're paying attention. Right click, create price alert. And again, you can make it a little bit higher to give yourself more confidence. 75, back above AI price. Save, you're done. Okay, but let's keep going. Okay, another one. This one, again, was not a winning trade. You saw the winners. This is not a winning trade from yesterday, but I'm showing you how winners can, how even something that's negative in one day can turn around. And you can see it's kind of turning around at the end of the day. Pretty much, I mean, the big move happened early in the morning. So this is another great example of back in the AI signal window. Rinse, repeat, okay? This one, continuing, okay? So remember I talked to you about the, let me see if it was this one. Yeah, so remember I said this one, nice chart, reversion to the mean, okay? See how it tried to catch this one? It didn't do it perfectly, but if it does, it's an amazing move. Well, Let me make sure. Okay, sorry. This one, roadblocks. This one. This one is a very, very similar type of deal. It's a mean reversion kind of a play where you see this down wave, the AI tries to catch it. Okay, it missed it a little bit yesterday. Tiny amount, by the way. Okay, tiny amount, but look at the beauty of the move today. And this is the power user, okay? This is how you go from being a checkers player to being a chess player. This could be in terms of just value for your Q&A lesson, in terms of how to use the software. I doubt that you're gonna get more value out of anything. Forget like indicators, okay? That stuff's bullshit. Indicators are just a way to distract you. We're talking about eyes. You've got the signal and you can see that these signals work, okay? And remember, one day is nothing. You wanna be able to do in your trading what I've done in my 401k. Do you think that I got into GameStop and got out of it the next day? No. I got in at 65, let it go to 75, 85, 95, 195. It went to 350. I let it came back, but I stayed in it because again, I see the trend and there's no panic mode with my cost. This is what you're trying to do here. If you can get this and have this go back over 100, I mean, come on, you're in a completely different level of investing then. Okay. And once again, beautiful right here, a beautiful reversal pattern. Okay. So do you guys, do you understand what I'm doing, the process here, right? And what I'm going to show you is that it goes way beyond just yesterday. So I'm going to right click, show you another component of it. I'm going to go to time frame. So here we have just yesterday, but I'm going to change the date on this to 7/31. Okay. So 1 month ago. Watch what happens. Okay. So let's take a look at some of these trades. This is the same thing. And remember, the software goes both long and short. Okay, software goes both long and short, and you can make profit in both ways. EVK. Okay, you had a sell signal here. It went all the way down to here and stayed here for 1, 2, 3, 4 days. You know, so from 368 down to 316, popped up. But look, this is what, again, we're going to automate this stuff for you, but here you go. If you created the re-entry signal, or if you let this re-entry signal, let's say you missed this whole trade, right? But you went to history and you said, okay, let me know when it crosses back below here. On this candle, look where you'd be sitting now at 308. That's a significant percentage return on your investment. That's the chess. This is the chess move. Yeah, money, that's not how it works. First of all, there's no likelihood, all that stuff. The way you have been taught to think about the market is just not the way the market works. The AI runs statistical models and then it looks at setups during the day. It gives you entries and exit signals. The exit signals right now happen that day. Everyone's exit signal is a function of risk management. If there's no such thing, if you want, guys and ladies, if you want the goose that laid the golden egg, then you need to go get a fairy tale book. That's not how the market works. There's no thing that, or if you want someone that gives you an entry signal, it works, and then gives you an exit signal and you bank profit, well, then give your money to a hedge fund guy so you can take 2% off of your percentage and give you the remainder, and then you'll see that it's actually not that good of a deal. That's not how the stock market works. Entry signals are given. RAI is the only one in the world for consumer finance that gives you a system that gets you an entry and an exit all during the same day, but the exit on the same day is for risk avoidance purposes. We're not saying you have to do it because, again, these are not trading recommendations. What we're saying is we give you the stop, we give you an exit, so you can take profit if you want to, but the idea is you want to be able to hold on to your gain. Okay, this is what I did with my 401k trades, and I tried to prove to you that my thesis works by showing you in real money with real portfolio how this approach is a winning combination. Okay, so let's look at sundial real quick. Okay, boom, boom, your first sell at 625, you're currently at 523. Looks pretty good so far, even this sell too. Okay, historical guys, historical. Okay, here's a buy at 898, went all the way to 1048, now you're at 960. Does this look like a good trade to you? It sure does look like it to me. I would give it a heart. I love you, historical AI trade. Okay, OCX, sell signal at 529. Here we are, let's see, like 15, 16 days later, 404. I don't know about you guys, but it seems like a pretty good percentage return to me. So I'm just trying to showcase what is possible. Okay, no, not sundial, SUNL. Sorry, SUNL. Sorry that if I mispronounced it. I could have said sundial, it's SUNL. And you can see the symbols right here. And these are shorts, guys, a little bit more dangerous and more advanced. Here's a sell signal of 971, and here it is 1, 2, 3, 4 days later in the money. Could it go lower? Possibly. I mean, it's starting to rebound a little bit, but my point is that trading is a form of risk management and risk management only. You know, no one's going to knock on your door and say, okay, now's the perfect exit. No. Okay, that's not how it works. Let's look at another one. So here's a sell signal right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 days later, okay, you were still in the money. And it just crossed above that entry because again, I mean, you can't, this is not a magic 8 ball. This is statistical analysis, but look how many days you were sitting in the money, 17, very good number, okay? Let's look at another one. So I'm kind of giving you the historical performance, same thing, boom, boom. So here you are at 29, went as low as 21, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 days to make 10 points. I don't know if you're impressed, but I am, and you should be, okay? Let's keep going. Here's a buy signal. I mean, guys, this is like, whew. I mean, you're talking about 5D chess jujitsu. Buy signal at 1528 goes 1, 2, 3. You get a sell signal at 19. I mean, this is where, where's my boy Manish? Or Ignacio. You've got the buy signal and an AI sell signal, which is not the way it happens a lot, but in this case, it bought it, it went up, then it said, okay, this is a good time to sell it, and then it went down, and then it crossed back above the entry signal of the initial buy and it tore up. Guys, I rest my case. If you're not subscribing to this, by the way, is everyone else able to hear me? Because I feel like I'm freestyling pretty good here. Hopefully, I know someone said that they couldn't, but come on. All right. Tell me this is not some of the best stuff you've seen, and you know you're not doing this. I know you. I know who you are. You're not doing this, and you should be. But we're gonna, by the way, so if you want to get excited, we're gonna automate everything I'm doing here. We're gonna create a feed of AI winning signals that are continuing, okay? We're gonna show you, we're gonna let you see when the losers become winners. Guys, if you think the AI is good now, we're about to go to the billion-dollar company level without the venture capitalists, and they're gonna be shitting their bed, okay? Because we're gonna take innovation to a level that you've never ever seen in the stock market, because And I'm being honest because I think we're the only ones that actually trade in the trading business. We've done it from the beginning. We've never stopped. I still do it. I showed you my portfolio. I show you that I'm beating all the averages. I'm pretty sure I'm beating all the hedge funds too, by the way. And I'm just nobody, okay? Nobody. So this is, again, a perfect example of statistics in action. Buy, sell, buy. I mean, again, this is what I'm saying. Use this re-entry as, this initial entry as your re-entry. Amazing stuff. Okay, let's go to another one. Okay, so here's one where you got in and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. Okay, 7 days profitable, and then it turned around. These things, again, happen. It's impossible to tell you that, hey, we did some statistical analysis and because of that, it's not going to go up. No, things change. Okay, but you can, but by the way, you can do a couple of things. You can hard it. You can say, resistance at the high. And because what I'm saying, last time it was here, it came down pretty hard. And so this is your additional sell signal, potentially just going in the direction of the AI. So hopefully, if you sold it here and it goes below back here again where it was, you're killing it. I'm not saying it's going to, it could also break out, but I'm just saying based on the initial AI analysis. And by the way, the market, it hasn't been, it's been kind of going, it's been all over the place, to be honest. So here, sell signal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days profitable, but 1, 2, on this day, come on, it went from 12.6 to 9.61. And on here, you're just being given a gimme. That's a very significant percentage return. Okay. And these are shorts. So remember, we're giving you a different approach, shorts. Okay, here's one. Not one that ended up working super good. That happens, but it's not. But also think about the risk. If you're short at 149 and it's 160, are you in pain? No. That's another point. That's why you use statistical analysis. Why trade ideas is so good. Okay, here's another one. Sell at 31, it's at 29.24. Look at how many days later. You're just holding a winner. Obviously, we covered this one before. So there were some sell signals on this one. 3 days, 1, 2, 3 days, but then there was a buy signal and now it's starting to go up. So again, it could reverse this whole thing. And what I'm saying is that if you're only looking at the AI during one day and you're not following up on these trades, and I'm giving you the ability to see that historically you have this data, then you are literally just missing a gigantic component of the value proposition. And like I said before, we're going to make it easier for you, but still, this is what you should be doing. Okay, a sell, but starting to trend higher. Nothing to worry about here. Here's a buy that isn't working right now, but what do? We hard it and we right click right here and we say, add a 7 here and say above AI entry signal. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Because what we're going for is this move back here. We're going for that reversal, pops up, crosses this moving average, the 50. We're trying to get a retracement here. And this is where we would be looking for the risk management exit. Okay. So this is a whole feed that you guys have that is underutilized, and I want you to be doing it. Okay. And of course, back to real time. And this is how it's done. So Mark, your question, again, I don't know exactly which layout type and if you're using the docu windows, but if you shoot a Q&A question to info@trade-ideas.com, somebody will easily be able to showcase to you how all of that is done. All right, are there any questions about anything that I've covered? Because this is one of the more critical things that you need to be doing. You must be doing it. I know you're not, and you should be doing it. If you want to get to the returns that I showed you, this is how it's done, okay? So let's get back to the presentation real quick. Where is that presentation? Here it is. There probably is not going to be a summit yet this year because of all the COVID disaster. We're keeping an eye on that, Bullseye, but just nothing is planned right now because of just traveling is not fun. You guys, I went to Montana with my family, and just getting there was like having your soul sucked by a vampire. Okay, the airports are the worst places in the world. So, yeah. Oh, Mark, E-Trade. I'm glad you brought this up. I believe we've got the fully functional zero commission trading now running at E-Trade, and if you are using that E-Trade, you should be using trade ideas with it. You can always shoot somebody a question about how to get that started, but E-Trade's ready to rock and roll. So about optimizing AI trade size and position sizing. So this is a very difficult thing to discuss to the public because, as I said before, number one, I can't recommend anything as far as what you have to do, but typically it has to do with your account size and what it is that you're willing to risk per trade. So let me show you something real quick. I'm going to minimize this once again. Okay, so under tools and options, we have this feature right here. Do you see where I'm going? AI trade size. Everybody able to see that? Okay, AI trade size. So I use a dollar per trade amount that I'm comfortable with as it relates to how much do I want to spend in terms of dollars on a per trade basis. Some people are comfy with just share amounts because the math, like they can look at a price and know what 100 shares will be sort of visually very easily. But we've got a really cool thing that you can do, and this is something I think that relates to the question that Aaron was talking about and Naveen also in terms of AI trade size. So this will position you based on how much do you want to lose per trade based on where the stop loss is. So if you want to lose $50, let's say on any given trade, if it gets stopped out, then the AI will size you appropriately based on what the stop loss is and what the price of the stock is. So this is how that's done. So here you're saying that, hey, and I would practice with this right here in simulated trading. Remember, I didn't even touch upon the simulated trading, which is so critical today. But again, just wanted to focus on the most important part, which is the historical AI. But in simulated trading, feel what this is like. Put in how much, let's say you want to say, I want to lose maximum $100 per trade. See what those sizes start to look like and apply it, and it'll size you appropriately. I said apply. Say it. Okay. So this today, when it did that, it changed my profit to losing $10.17. Okay, just based on today's performance. But remember, we're not a one-day pot shop. Okay, it's not a one-day in and out. This ain't no by-hour motel room. Okay, tools, options. AI trade size, okay, this is based on $100 at 100 shares. So here I'm applying 100 shares to every trade. So you can kind of get an idea, what would that have looked like today? So today you would have lost $312 doing that, probably because of this. There was an expensive stock, okay? That's the way that just happened. So you would have obviously applied more capital to it. So tools, options, and then back to what I use myself, my own personal preference, $7,700. So just applying the same dollar amount. And that was actually profitable. So you can kind of get an idea there that typically an amount of capital that's the same per trade tends to get you, I think, a little bit more consistent profits. But I would use this in sim mode and get a better feel for it. So that's my answer to that. Okay, back to the end of the show. Okay, one of my favorite things to do is to tell you do not subscribe to Trade Ideas. You guys already subscribed, so it doesn't apply to you. But for those of you who are looking at this amount of money and saying to yourself, man, this Trade Idea is expensive. I don't know if I can handle $7.50 a day for consumer-facing AI that tells me how to trade stocks and make money. Please do not subscribe to Trade Ideas. Take your money, go to Starbucks, buy a coffee or something else, but please do not subscribe to Trade Ideas because your mind's not going to handle. The stock market requires you being able to process gains and losses that are exceedingly higher than $7.50 a day. And this is how much our software costs without any discounts. But of course, for those of you who are on the fence or new or had not subscribed yet, based on our previous test drive, there is a 15% off promotion code today, Holly Rocks, 15% off your first month or a year off of Trade Ideas. But if this money is a lot to you, please don't subscribe. Thank you. Okay, we have daily support sessions, our education, all the things that you hear me talking about today. You can ask these questions to so many of the very high level Trade Ideas professionals. Barry Anderson, one of them, who is the moderator of our trading room, helping answer questions today. But we have so many skilled people who are here to help you get really the answers very quickly and lots of videos as well. But if you want to participate in the educational curriculum, please go to trade-ideas.com/live. As I mentioned, Barry, the fantastic moderator of our trading room, lots of the things that I'm showing you here, Barry can reiterate, especially with historical AI. And Barry has his own take on how to use the software, and he trades more actively than I do. But there's a community of very good active investors there that help each other. And this is a great place to just browse, see ideas, and see people executing the trading plan. Okay. So that's what you want to do, trade-ideas.com, trading room. And Barry, again, who's in the room, is our moderator extraordinaire. Ignacio, so Ignacio just asked a very good question that's kind of leading to the end of the year developments. He said, if you have a stock that you like, can the AI help you make decisions? So I have to actually cut this real quick and say yes. The answer is yes. Let me show you how. Okay, I'm going to go to a different channel. Ignacio, your question's so good, it made me stop the whole presentation. Okay, let me show you something. Apple Computer is a stock that you might like. Hello, did I mistype it? Yes, I did. By the way, notice you can now make mistakes a little bit better. Okay, let me blow this up real quick for you. So there's some BS prints here on the intraday. We don't need them. I'm just gonna go right here on the daily. Do you see, Ignacio, do you see these numbers right here, 137.68? Okay, so any stock you pull up, the software automatically assumes that you're about to buy it at the price that it's at the time that you pull it up. So I can go to TECK and minimize it. Where did it go? Let me do another one. So it's going to give you a profit target and a stop loss for these stocks, no matter what they are. So it doesn't have to be something that the AI picks. Okay, so here, by the way, again, and it gives you the monetary risk reward based on this setting. So I'm trading 7,700. So if I'm buying Netflix because it's $582 stock, based on $7,700 worth, it's not a lot of shares. And this is my profit target, this is my stop loss. So that's how the AI helps you trade every single stock there is. And notice at the bottom here is your swing exit. So if you're a little bit of a longer term trader, this is your really trend reversal exit, okay? And it touched it right there, very close, okay? And for any stock, so here, cheaper stock, and because it's cheaper, and I'm trading $7,700 worth, notice you've got the profit target number, stop loss number, and let me see if I zoom out. So and then swing exits below here. Does that make sense? Okay, very good. All right, so now back to the end. We are grateful for the time that you guys spend with us. You are, again, once again, our venture capitalists, and we appreciate all the engagement that you give us. Please like us on Facebook, Instagram, other social media platforms. We have a fairly active Twitter following. Here are the Twitter addresses for you to peruse. We're easy to get a hold of. This is our phone number. And of course, should you have any questions, please shoot us an email to info@trade-ideas.com. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are the only ones in all of FinTech that do what we do, okay? Thank you for being our subscribers. And Scott, take it away. I think we're good.
Yeah, I think you wrapped it up just fine. The recording will be up later on tonight or tomorrow. You get an email reminder tomorrow with the link to where you can find it on the playlist. Thanks, everyone.